Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Christian-Rey Benigno. So for today, I'm going to be presenting my final project for English 218. For my final project, I have created a revised manual for the Apple smartwatch since it relates to the field that I plan on going to in the future. For this presentation, I'm going to explain why my manual is superior above others based on the changes that I have created for the manual. And I have created this manual for the beginners or anyone who is new with the technology of these Apple smartwatch. And the manual will show certain applications and how they work, what to avoid on doing with your smartwatch, and so on and so forth. So we are going to start off with discussing one of the things I've changed, which was the warnings and tips and notes of the manual. Uh, so for throughout this manual, I have used different colored and text boxes and outlines for those three things to differentiate it from one another so that it would be easier to know which is which. And I'll I'll explain it as we go along. So over here we've got my cover page for the smartwatch. And then as we scroll down, we've got the table of contents, and I could just click on it and it'll get me to the page that I want. Yeah, control click. Yeah, right here. So right here, the warning text box, I made it red with yellow outlines with a white text to really grab the attention of the reader. As you can see here, also has a warning icon. So this, I basically did this to make it pop out even more so that the user would want to pay attention to that area since it is a warning so that they would know what not to do or what to avoid with their watch so that they won't damage it or harm anyone. And as you can see here, there is a blue text with underlines that is bolded. That basically helps differentiate it from the other text because this is the hyperlinks to different websites that could help the user. So if they're having problems with certain things and they need clarifications, they could just click on the link and it'll take them to an Apple website that would help them with their problem. And so the other thing that I did for this manual was that I created some of the instructions into a numbered list so that it is easier to follow since some of the instructions in the manual from Apple were not numbered. So I did it in a number form or bulleted numbers so that it is easy to follow and so the user would have a less what is it would have a what is it would have less confusion on following the instructions and all that. And I have actually added added some more numbers or more lines so that is easier to follow, less confusion. So I've added some icons to some of these instructions. I've added as many icons as I can next to the applications so that it would let the user know what to look for in their watches or iPhones so that it would have an easier time on doing these steps that I have helped create. And over here, we've got a tip text box on a white text box with a green outline. Once again, it's just to help the reader with like finding all the different tips and these different these text boxes and basically differentiate the different information and all that. So one of the other things I have incorporated for this are the pictures, and which could be found right here for the instructions for choose a display or watch face. I've only done this for a few instructions since, yeah, tons of pictures. So over here, as you can see here in the example, I use the figures and the numbered instructions to basically direct the user on where they could find it so that they would know what to look for, what their watch should look like when doing certain things. So they would have an easier time on setting up their watch or anything like that. Yep. And another, there's going to be another one in the next page right here, how to open apps. Yeah, this also made it easier to know what the buttons are for and how scrolling the digital crown up or down would cause it to zoom in and out of the apps, as you could see on these figures right here in the pictures that I have taken. Yeah. So right here, you could see some more icons, like the accessibility icons. I have created those, I have placed those in there so that it's easier for the user to find, which was not there before. More links. And over here, you've got a table of certain settings in the watch for the braille displays. And right, one of the things that previously talked about was the notes. It's basically just the orange text box with the black outline would just make it pop even more and differentiate the different information as previously stated. Yeah, and over here is instructions for how to operate certain apps. Like over here, this is for fitness stuff, yeah, workouts, what the certain applications do for the user, how it tracks and all that. And I reworded some of these and added some things onto it to make the instructions as best as possible. And I've used some of the original pictures from Apple to show what the application would look like on the watch or on their phones. Right there. Then more applications about health. Yeah, so here we've got the communications, different ways to communicate with the watch, the applications in the watch, and how to lock it, all that. More notes, tips. As you can see here, it's pretty lengthy since I wanted to get as detailed as possible to essentially make it easier for the user so that they would have a less time or trouble with following the instructions here. And the last thing here, just more our safety informations and more warnings about the watch. And I have added the glossary towards the end with some words that people may not be familiar with. So just makes it easier for them to know what the word means and all that. And so basically from those changes I created or added, I hope that it would basically help the user know what to do, you know, know what to do and all that with less confusion. So yeah, that's what I've got. Uh, thank you for watching and have a good day.